Do I look like I'm wearing the same exact outfit as my last video? Because I should, because I'm doing 2 videos in one day. We are going to make, what is this called? Creamy scalloped potato beef nachos or something. I don't know. I got the recipe online a while ago, but then kind of tweaked it, made it my own, and that's what we're gonna do. I got the potatoes already sliced and peeled. So my secret for getting them peeled fast is ask your husband. Thanks, babe. And then I love my mandolin. I forgot I had a mandolin. So that's cool. Don't forget your wine. And roll that intro, baby. Let's go. This is only 4 potatoes. We got a pretty good amount of slices on here. Okay, next I'm gonna add about 4 tablespoons of melted butter. Just melted this in the microwave. So the butter's in my potatoes. I'm gonna give it a good little stir. Ask me if this recipe's healthy. And here's my little mixture. I have about 2 cups of 2% milk actually. This original recipe called for whole milk or cream. Not whole milk, it was cream. It was like heavy whipping cream or something. But I do try to just swap it for 2%. That's fine. It'll still work. Especially because I did add a little extra butter. Just a little compromise. So I've got 2 cups of milk in here. And then I added about 2 or 3 tablespoons of creole seasoning. We don't do Cajun seasoning in the house because Cajun usually has onion in it, and this creole seasoning does not have onion in it, unless they're lying to me. So hopefully they're not lying to me. And then I have about, I think only 1 tablespoon of dark chili powder. Doesn't matter if it's dark, just chili powder. Oh, I haven't added this yet. I wanted to add a little sprinkle of my sweet smoked paprika, so I'm gonna add that now. This is probably, I don't know, less than a teaspoon. And I mix that all up, and I just pour this right in. I also want to add a little bit of my favorite roasted garlic and herb seasoning. Just a little sprinkle of that in here. It makes everything better, I'm telling you. Now I'm just gonna crush a little bit of garlic right into it. Maybe 3 cloves, but do what your heart desires. Garlic is something that you add based on your soul, okay? You don't use a recipe for garlic. You just add garlic to everything. If you're cooking something savory and it says, add salt, don't add salt, add garlic salt. Never just add salt. Flavor, baby. Flavor. Plus it's garlic. You can't go wrong with garlic, right? Okay, so we're mixing this all together. And you know what else we're gonna add to it? Stir-in garlic paste that we get from Aldi. Because you can never have too much garlic, y'all. I mean, maybe you can, but not in my house. So I just added a little squirt of it. The minute you add the cold milk to this, of course the butter is gonna start solidifying a little bit. I don't care too much. I think that in the end it'll still work. Oh, I never introduced myself. Hi, I'm Victoria. And this is Sister Serving in Turn. This mixture is so good. I'm gonna just use one of these disposable tins because it makes cleanup easier. But I like this because it's deep, and I like to, we're gonna be layering stuff. So I'm gonna be putting the potatoes on the bottom with meat and some peppers on top. So that's why I like these, because they are one of the deeper dishes I own. I have it all in here. I did spray this before I put everything in there. I have it all in there in a little layer. I'm gonna toss it in the oven, 400 degrees. I also have just sliced up my peppers. You need to see that because the baby was crying because he was trying to be put to sleep. So you didn't need to hear that in the background. I have orange, red, and yellow pepper. Nicely, oops. My dog will love that, except you gotta hear this. Come here, Khaleesi. So this dog right here, I dropped this pepper. She loves peppers. I just dropped it on the floor. Look at this. Angelina, she's blind now. This is Khaleesi. Y'all met her on my last video. She was just kind of walking around, and that's how quick it's happened. So we actually are going to be calling a vet ophthalmologist. pretty soon here to get her looked at because she went from fine to blind in like a day, I swear. No, now she's like fully blind. Like, look, look. She loves peppers. Whose pet is that? She's been in our family for about 13 years. Yeah. And she's had a rough go. 2026 has been hard for her. So, like, first, she started with this huge, like, tumor on her chin when we first came back from the hospital with our baby, um, back in November. And they gave us antibiotics and steroids. And long story short, we eventually got that to go away after a couple rounds of things, a couple testing and biopsies and everything. But in the meantime, they were kind of missing that she was going diabetic. And she started having problems going peeing in the house and holding her bladder, and the poor little thing, she felt so bad. You can tell because she's a good girl. So they kind of missed the diagnosis of the diabetes. Within days of her starting her insulin, it's my fault, but she found some grapes in the grocery bags that I left on the floor because I got home, the baby was crying, wanted to feed, so I just put him on the floor and I started feeding the baby, not realizing that the dog she just went right to the bag and just started plucking grapes off of the stem, eating them like a little champ. She's like, this is great. I love this so much. This is awesome. And it wasn't awesome because within 20 minutes I was making her throw up. Not that you want to hear that. Oh, and then she was hospitalized because, they needed to give her IV fluids for 48 hours. It was an ordeal, right? So that was literally only maybe 2 months ago. And she was finally getting regulated on her insulin. She was doing really, really good. And even our neighbor was like, oh my gosh, she looks like a little puppy again. She's playing and having a great time. And she was so much energy. Suddenly, she went from a puppy again, having so much fun playing with my two children and being just so wiry and energetic. So now she is just sitting here, like staring in the abyss, going, I can't see anything, and I don't know what's going on, and is there food nearby? I feel so bad. So yeah, that's something that's been going on in my life, Angelina, including going back to work this last couple of weeks, and we'll get into that. Let's go back to the recipe, okay? All right, let's take a sip first. We need this today. We have the peppers. I don't even know where I ended with it. How did I even go? Oh, that's how I got on that tangent. I dropped a pepper. Okay. At least it makes sense. Anyway, I have a pan on the stove that's just heating up a little bit of avocado oil. It looks like the avocado oil is ready. It's not really going to be a fry. It is going to be a saute. So after I throw it in the oil, I am going to cover it. We want them to get like nice and soft and kind of wilty and everything. So we'll just get this started. Did you hear that sizzle? Medium to high heat. And I'm going to cover it. I have a superpower, by the way, Angelina. You might not know this, but this is something that me and my husband laugh about all the time. So maybe I'm not like other people, but I feel like I'm normal where I keep my pots and pans. It's just like everything is just thrown in there. It's stacked nicely, sure. But there's just tons of lids just everywhere, right? Wherever you can fit them. And every single time I need a lid, I know exactly which lid, so there's a ton of different ones, ton of different sizes, and I just know, this one's gonna fit, and I put it on, and it's like first time every single time. And the husband laughs about it because he'll sit there being like, no, 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 and I'll come over and I'll be like, it's this one. I don't know how I have the superpower, but I'm sure it's not really something to be that impressed by, but you know what? Love yourself and love the things that are awesome about you. Okay? Okay. Love yourself too. Let me keep talking about what the next part of the recipe is going to be. This is something I get from Aldi often. Let me put this up here. Beef for carne picada is what it's called. It was only $9, so this is a pretty cheap recipe because right now we just got potatoes, peppers, and meat. So it's probably going to only be $15. So sometimes we just need a Tuesday night quick meal that's easy. What I love about this is that it's already cut up. And it says it's great for tacos, and it is. It's great for tacos, but it's also great for what we're gonna be making here. It feeds into my lazy girl attitude. I don't wanna sit here prepping all day. I need it to be fast, and this is fast for me. I'm never gonna give you a recipe well, maybe not never, but I usually won't give you a recipe where I'm sitting there slaving, chopping things, cutting things, measuring things. Like, it's gonna be something that you can throw together, okay? The other thing we're gonna need is gonna be some tomato sauce, tomato paste. Both of these are for Aldi, of course. I'm probably gonna use a little bit more of my roasted garlic and herb. And then I'm gonna add all the same seasonings I put in the potatoes. Probably just gonna do sprinkles just so that the flavor is just continuous, you know? So we're gonna add some more creole, some more paprika, smoked sweet paprika, a little bit more chili powder. And then I probably will add a little bit of garlic to the peppers as they get a little bit more steamed. Oh, oops. I forgot a whole potato. Damn it. Well, I don't know. What do I just do with the potato? I don't know. All right, the peppers are ready. I just want them to be kind of, like I said, wilted, sauteed. I got a little bit of caramelization on there too by kind of doing a higher heat. So I got these kind of caramelized pieces. I'm gonna add my picada meat, an 8-ounce jar of tomato sauce, and a nice scoop of this tomato paste. It's probably, if you want to do a recipe, I'd say about 2 tablespoons. This is more than 2 tablespoons, just eyeing it, but looks good to me. We're gonna add the rest of my seasonings here. A little bit of chili powder. If you want exact measurements, maybe a teaspoon or 2. A nice little sprinkle of the creole. This is hot, so that's probably more of a half a teaspoon. I have it in the potatoes too. I don't want to do too much. I'm gonna do a little bit of the sweet smoked paprika, a pinch. So yeah, just a pinch. My roasted garlic and herb seasoning, and then just a little bit of garlic salt. And then we're just gonna mix that up, put it on the stove. Oh, by the way, I did stir the potatoes a couple of times while I was waiting on the peppers to cook. But yeah, we're just gonna put this on the stove again. I'm actually recovering it again. I'm putting it on high heat. Just try to see if I can get that meat to cook really quickly because I just want to get to my next step. Okay, so the potatoes are ready. This is what they look like when they're ready. It's time that I usually have to rush because the baby needs me. But the mixture is nice and kind of thicker. Now it's just going to roll right on top of those potatoes. So it doesn't matter if the meat is fully cooked because it's going to go in the oven a little longer. So we got the meat and the pepper mixture right on top. I'm going to let it cook a little bit and then I'm going to add cheese on top. Now I've got a little bit of cheese all grated up. This is probably one of those things I try not to sacrifice on when it does come to Lazy Girl. I try not to do the shredded cheddar or cheeses in general because I don't know if you saw this online, but I saw this one article about how when you see kind of the grease on whatever you're cooking from the cheese and like the cheese isn't melting quite right in the oven or whenever you're trying to melt it and you're like, why is this melting weird? Or you know, why is it so greasy? It's not grease at all. It's just whatever powdery stuff they put on it to separate, to make sure it doesn't clump. Like, how disgusting is that? Like, do better, America. Like, hello. And you might also notice that I'm doing white because milk is white. Milk is white. Cheese should be white. Butter should be white. Or like this creamy color in general. So yes, sometimes I have that orange cheese, and I know I had that American cheese. I'm sorry, that sharp cheddar cheese in my breakfast sandwich video, but again, that was a mistake purchase, so I just had to use it up. In most cases, orange cheeses aren't using dyes anymore. They used to, and now they don't. Usually they're all like turmeric or something just to give it a little bit of color. But again, I don't need it to be orange because milk is white, so I don't need it to be orange just for the aesthetics. That's my tangent. Do whatever you want to do, but I'm trying just be a natural-esque person. There you go. Back in the oven. So I'm going to switch it to broil now because I just want that cheese to kind of get melted, maybe a little bit of crispy on top. Something I like about this recipe, the reason I like this one is because it just helps me have more veggies in my diet without having to have a whole side of veggies. If I can have my main meal have more of the veggies in it, that's great. So that's why I loved Angelina's recipe for the cottage pie. That was delicious. Thank you so much for sharing that. I don't even think I'm gonna make any changes. Maybe I added a little bit more of that my garlic herb seasoning to it, because again, everything is better with that. And that's just what I love about meals like this, meals like the cottage pie. The main meal has the veggies in it, so you don't have to think about adding another side. So that's another reason why I like this. So that's broiling, and we're just gonna wait for that cheese to look good. While that's cooking, I'm gonna tell you another nephew nonsense. This one's actually not that nonsense. It was very, very cute. I'm adoring it. A 4-year-old, we're trying to use proper terminology for things for him, very scientific. You know, that's the way it should be. So when we tell him what his baby brother does, he's breastfeeding, right? So he's taking milk out of my breast to eat. The other day, when the baby was eating, and my older son said, I would like some milk, and he wanted normal milk. I should have rephrased it from the beginning. But anyway, my older son wanted some milk. And I said, yep, I can go downstairs and get you some of your milk. Can brother eat your milk? You know, we're always trying to use little tools in education to make sure that he understands the concept of things. So we're always trying to give him those little lessons whenever we can. So we were just like, okay, can your brother eat drink the milk that you're drinking? And he was like, no. And I'm like, what can brother have? And he goes, milk from your breast. And hearing a 4-year-old say breast is just, it's shocking, but hilarious, but beautiful at the same time, because you're like, I'm teaching my child right. He's going to be such a good gentleman. But the full sentence he said was, the milk from your breast, and it's beautiful. Of course, I have to stop, pause, and ask for a little bit more information, just to see where the thought process, the gears, where are the gears turning? But he goes, so he says, the milk from your breast, and it's beautiful. And I said, what do you mean, buddy? And he goes, what do you mean beautiful? And he goes, sometimes things are beautiful, like you, mommy. And and that was his response, and that was his answer, and it's just, that's just so cute. I love him. What an adorable response. And I needed that a little, so that was cute. Look at that. You see how it seemed to have melted a little bit better, and it actually, looks like cheese that's melted, not just a weird clump. So it actually melted. That looks good. I think I'm done. I'm done. So I did chop up a little bit of tomato. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of fresh tomato on top. Kind of feed into this nacho-esque vibe. That's just what, I don't know, that is what it was called. The recipe's called scalloped nachos, but it's really not a nacho, but it's really good. I just cut up a little bit of green onion on this too. And this is what she looks like, y'all. Look at that. It's going to be so yummy. So we're going to let it cool down, and then I'm going to cut it and check on the baby in the meantime. While I wait for this to cool off, I did want to tell my sister about something I've been doing recently. And watch, everyone's going to be like, yeah, we've been doing this for years. And I'm just like, I just figured it out. So again, if this is an internet thing and everyone's like, yeah, so sorry. I live under a rock. Call me Patrick, okay? So recently I got a body wash that I wanted to try. I had good reviews. I did not love the way it made my skin feel. It still kind of made me feel a little dry. I felt like it just stripped everything off of my body. And then recently I also had bought a bath oil. The baby came to visit. So anyway, so I have this bath oil that that it says to use in the bath or just put right on your skin after the bath. Well, I don't know, I wanted it for my shower, but then the one time I tried to just put it on my skin in the shower, I was like, okay, I mean, obviously I know it's not gonna work, and it didn't work. So I just mixed this bath oil with that body wash that I really did not like. And when I mixed them together, it made the body wash a little bit creamier. And then when I use it, I was like, oh my God, this is great. It transformed my body wash. And two, I know they always have those marketed products that they're that has oil in it and everything, but I was able to make it the exact consistency I wanted. So I'm telling you, if you can buy a bath oil that you like and mix it with your body wash, Tell me what you think. I thought it was so hydrating. I thought it was so nice. It lathered really well. So, oh, that's just my little tidbit of the day. Oh, I just wanted to share that with you. But yeah, tell me what you think. I mean, again, if this is something that everyone's like, yeah, obviously, sorry. But if it's something you haven't tried before, try it. Sorry, I'm standing off center. Baby is right here, obviously. If you haven't figured it out, he wants to be in the camera so bad. See? All right, let's try this. I'm gonna go put him down and then we can go try it. All right, let's cut into her. I wanted the potato that I forgot to chop up to be in the picture too because, well, it's not his fault he didn't get included. To be honest, I usually eat this with a little bit of sour cream because I just think it's really good with it, and sometimes I can't handle heat. Sometimes I do make it a little bit too hot, but I'm gonna try it right on its own. It's really good. I did add a little bit too much salt though, I can tell. So if you are making this at home, if you don't like salt, don't add as much as I did. I forgot that Creole season I think has salt in it. I mean, it's not too salty. It's perfectly salty for me, but perfectly salty for me means it's too salty for everyone else. Oh! That's the baby. He's not really crawling, but he can get places. So, oops. I love. Okay, I guess I gotta wrap this up because kiddo's moving my stand. It's really good. I love this recipe. I've used it a couple times already now. Like I said, it's a little bit spicy sometimes. So if it's too spicy, a little bit of sour cream is really good. And I hope you enjoy. As always, join us next time on Sister Serve and Return. Yeah. You don't like how you can't move it? That's good. Oh, bye.